Yo, yo, yo. Hope everybody's well out there. I wanted to pop on and do a quick stream this week and just thank everybody who's been enjoying the channel and everybody who's signed up and become a ruler. I'm blown away by the support, and I just want to talk about everything that we're building here, and thank you all for checking it out. Let me move the computer closer so I can see the chat. Oh, thanks. I'm glad you enjoyed the Blues Saraceno interview. Blues is a great friend, and what a great musician. He was a real inspiration for me coming up. And if you like that, well, man, I've been just going crazy shooting interviews with my friends the last few days. I've got 15 in the can already. One will come out every week. And that's mostly what I wanted to talk about is kind of, the flow that I'm going to get into for the channel. I'm thinking of doing 3 things a week, basically. One real video, could be about any topic, but a well-produced video. One quick and dirty video, which you'll know by it being black and white, and you see some of them over the last few weeks. And then one interview, Q&A, live from Flat 5. So that's kind of the flow that I'm falling into. Each one of them should have a bonus video for members only, which I'm already doing. So if you're not a member, join, man. Become a ruler, a beginner, an intermediate, or an effing ruler. And then if you're the effing ruler, you get in the Discord. We're having a blast in the Discord. There's a lot of people in there already, and they're all knowledgeable musicians. It's been really great talking music with everybody and just kind of building this thing up. I'm super excited about how it's going so far. So if anybody has questions about the channel and how it works, the other thing is I'm going to start having some merchandise involved with the channel, and you'll be able to get it through YouTube and from a dedicated merch page. And rulers will get discounts on things like shirts. We're going to have lounge shirts, Guitarzan's Flat 5 lounge shirts that say effing ruler on the back, things like that. I'm working on a book. That's coming soon. I'm really trying to step up my game, guys. And it's all for you. And quite honestly, to keep me busy during this pandemic because I just miss playing and interacting. So let's see if we got any questions. Oh, thank you for the sorry about the Clippers. I appreciate it. It is quite the bummer. Oh, man. What's everybody up to out there in YouTube world today? I'm wondering who signed up. I'd like to see people spam the emojis if we have any members in the chat. You like how I let Blues talk? Nobody's going to cut off Blues Saraceno. What amp am I playing? My Morgan JS12. How long did it take to build up to 13s? Not so long when I made the decision. I've been playing 13 since I was 15 or 16 years old. Can I talk about modes over triads, not 7th chords? Well, it relates the same. They're just, kind of, what's the best way to put this? I just relate them to major, minor, or diminished, basically. So if we play that G, then I'm going to play G major. Right, I'm going to play G Lydian. Right, it definitely works over the triads. I'm going to play G Mixolydian over that dominant 7th. Right, and I'm going to play, that's it for the majors. I'll play A Dorian. that's how the modes work. But it's easy for me to tie them to a chord family, basically, because it allows me to superimpose things. So, like, let's say we're going to take, you know, the Phrygian mode, right? And we're going to call, we're doing a vamp in B minor. Right? So we're in B minor and we've got that vamp going on. Well, let's say that that's the 3. So I may play Phrygian to get me that sound, but what I'm really going to do is play A Dorian over that. Right? And then I'll play G major. And that's like superimposing, basically. We can make that the 2 instead, right? We can make B minor the 2, and then I can play A major. You know, so I think of the minor chords in that way on a minor vamp. I'll change where I consider them to be. Even though technically they're really the 1, in theory speak, they're normally the 6 minor, so. Ever interact with badass country session guys? Oh, sure. I mean, I just interviewed Guthrie Trapp the other day, and we're good friends. I've met Tom Bukovac, but I wouldn't say we're friends. I don't really know him. We've just met. You know, but I know some of those guys, Nashville Cats, yeah. Curious if anybody has any questions about anything related to the channel. I'm going to turn on the King Tone Soloist since I got the Strat going. And get a little Stratty going on. Gotta love the soloist, right? Man, what a pedal. Let's look at the chat. Can I show you the Novo? In another stream, I'm going to do videos on gear on my own channel. It's in the other room. I apologize. I can't grab it right at the moment. Yes, Guthrie's interview will be on my channel, and just like all of them, there'll be a members-only section, a little lesson at the end where Guthrie teaches you a very Guthrie Trapp idea or lick, and then I teach a lick. Everybody's been asking me something I play that they like, so it's been cool. Everybody teaches a lick, and then I teach something, and that's a members-only addendum to all the interviews. But they're all like the blues one. Some are an hour, some are an hour and a half, some are 40 minutes. I've got great musicians coming up. Oz Noy, Adam Rogers, Val McCallum, Mark Goldenberg, Mason Stoops, Guthrie Trapp, Scott Henderson, David Grissom. Like the list goes on and on. Eric Walls, Joshua Gooch. It's a lot. I've already done quite a lot for you, and I have more. Bruce Foreman coming up. I mean, I'm getting all my friends. It's going to be more free form, but I'm going to try to do 3 a day. I mean, 3 a week. The videos will fall into those 3 categories. So one like very prepared video, you know, that looks nice, the ones you've been seeing here, me in the control room. One that's black and white that will be a little more raw and dirty about, you know, a quicker shot. And then one interview with a friend, the live from Flat 5 Q&A. Am I going to have video exchange lessons? It's something I'm thinking about maybe creating a higher tier in the future where we can have exchange lessons or at least critiques and things like that. But I'm also cognizant of how much time I have to spare, quite honestly. So I'll have to weigh that as we get going on the channel and seeing what we've got. Did pro players stop playing strats because of Stevie Ray comparisons? No, no. Strats are very popular. I mean, but everybody had their Stevie moment and had to find a way to break away from it, me included. Super slow tempos. Ooh, that's a good one. Um, well, on a metronome, you want to have at least eighth notes going on super slow tempos. But a good thing to do is to have like a tremolo or a Leslie on and play like a Ray Charles type. It's funny, having the Leslie or the tremolo helps me hear the time on a very slow song like that. Even if it's not actually in time with the tempo, it helps me kind of hear the gaps. But, you know, that's all about strengthening your internal clock, which I'm making a video about that as we speak that will probably come out next week, about really working on your time in your pocket and tying together your time between what's inside, what you're feeling, and tying it to your hands so that it actually is practically applied, because I think that's a skill that can be sharpened. Now, some people are born with time, but it can be sharpened and honed. Hey, Tomo, what's up, buddy? One of my favorite strings. I use the Gabriel Tenorio strings, handmade here in Los Angeles. LGTSstringcode.com. I have a signature gauge and brand that you could buy straight from there. My strings. So if you're brave enough and you want to try the big suckers, you could buy my exact gauges and exact strings that I like. They're pure nickel, and I think they're very special. When will my next record come out? That's a good question. I have 2 records in the can. One will be out sometime soon, I hope. The other, I'm not sure. It all depends on this first record, which is a departure for me. It's something very special and something I've never done, and it's probably the most proud of a project I've ever been. I kind of can't wait for anybody to hear it. But I'm trying to find the best strategy for releasing it, if that makes sense, because it's quite different, and I want it treated differently. So that's what I'm working on right now. Oh yeah, I'm excited for the Scott Henderson interview myself. Hello, Nova Scotia and Paris. Oh yeah, Tomo, man, Tomo, we got to get you on here, bro. What's included in becoming an effing ruler? All right, that's a good question. Basically, the 3 tiers of the membership are as follows. Beginning ruler, basically you're just supporting me for not a lot of, outlay. It's badges and emojis, kind of Twitch style, or, the intermediate ruler, you get access to members-only live streams. So I'm going to do a live stream maybe once a week, and I'm going to do, before it starts, I'm going to do members-only version of that stream, at least for 5 or 10 minutes, where if anybody has questions, they can be easier for me to kind of see them in the chat, and I can answer everybody's questions. And then I'll do the public live stream. I'm thinking once every 2 weeks or every 10 days as far as streams go like that. But then there's also members-only video sections on the website, which you can't see unless you're a member. So already for the videos I've posted in the last 2 weeks, there's an additional video that goes with each of them, an addendum, a bonus idea, just something. Even like for the Blue Saraceno interview, there's a video called Turn 2, which I'm doing with all the interviews, and Blues teaches you a very blues thing, and then I teach you a me thing. And it's kind of just like a bonus for members for the support. And the other thing you get at the top tier for being an effing ruler is access to my Discord server, which is private just to the subscribers and members, And dude, there's 100 people in there already asking questions and sharing music, posting pictures, talking to each other, and I'm in there every day answering questions and being a part of that community. And that's the most fun so far, is really building a community up. Did I not like the heavy hand side of the Duelist? I just didn't use it that much. It sounds great, but I didn't need it so much in my setup. Oh, happy you got turned on to Cornell Dupree. He's the man. What's the most important quality a musician needs these days? Ooh, professionalism, man. It's an often overlooked aspect, but people would much rather spend time with a professional, responsible, well balanced, nice individual than the best musician in the world that's not a very nice dude or woman. So be on time, be prepared, be nice, be in a good mood. I mean, those things take you far in life, quite honestly. Where to start with Roy Buchanan? Ooh, that's a good one, man. For me, it's you got to go, Sweet Dreams and Someday the Messiah Will Come. There's the Woodstock live album is incredible, and it's not at Woodstock, but it's just called that. It's at a club called Woodstock. Um, Roy Buchanan, Down by the River version of the Neil Young song. I mean, he's incredible and quite an influence on my playing, especially on my bending and my melodies. I'm going to play a little fuzz for a second. Oh, wait, what's this? Am I ever underwhelmed or bored at my tone? Or have I pretty much nailed what I've been looking for? Man, we all go through those periods where, oh, I'm not playing great, or oh, my tone sucks. And we want to change things up. Or even if your tone's great, we still want to change things up because we're searching, right? We're searching for greatness. We're searching for the next new thing. So I'm always searching for those things like you guys are. I go through it for sure, but I have arrived at the formula for what I like, absolutely. What is my personal tone, and I'm trying to cultivate that. I want people to know what I sound like, so when they hear something, they go, "Oh, that's Josh." Up, we got an intermediate ruler upgrade, and now, yep, now we're getting the emojis. I like it. I like to see when people sign up and when people spam the emojis. Kirk's new CD comes out on Friday. Have I heard it? Well, he recorded all the guitar right here where I'm sitting. So, yes, I've heard it all. It's fantastic. So I can't wait for you all to hear it. But he recorded the guitar here at my studio and some of the vocals. And I play on a song. There's an acoustic song that Kirk and I play together. So, yes, I've heard the whole record. And please support Kirk Fletcher, my brother, and buy that record. Oh, you got a JS12. That's ruling. I love it. How do I approach a gig with musicians I've never played with before? Does it ever happen? Oh, yeah, it happens all the time. Music is a language, so you can often get thrown into a situation that's new and foreign, but as long as you speak the language, you're going to be okay. And, I've worked very hard to make sure I'm fluent in the language of at least most situations that I'll get myself dropped into. But still, you always end up on some of those situations where things are uncomfortable and you don't know how they're going to go. That's when the attitude comes into play. If you approach it with the right attitude and respect, you'll be fine. Ray Charles emoji. All right, I'll add that to the list. What's this strat? Mark Rudders built this strat for me, and it's great. Oh my God, I just noticed the pickguard broke right here. Holy cannoli. Thank you, man. Thank you for the super chat, and thank you for joining the channel. Do the Grateful Dead or Holdsworth do anything for me? I'll admit to not being much of a Deadhead. Just honestly, I could never connect with it. Holdsworth, absolutely. Soft Machine, woo, slamming. And then I saw Holdsworth many times here in LA before he passed at Baked Potato, and it's quite the experience. You know, even if I don't play anything like that, you can't help but just stand there in sheer awe of the amount of hours put in and the brilliance in composition and technique. It's magical stuff. And plus, many of my friends played with him. So seeing Gary Novak play with him or Joel Taylor, you know, it was always special to see friends play with this just legend. He was a monster. How many Yankees hats do I own? I buy a new one every season. Oh, did you listen to that Emmanuel Wilkins record? Dude, it's the best new record I've heard in at least a year, maybe two. I'm blown away by it. What tubes in the JS12? Man, if you can afford it, get some NOS suckers in there. You know, it's a simple amp with not that many tubes. It'll benefit, but otherwise, just JJs. I like JJs because they're consistent. Do I plan on doing more original vocal stuff? I got 10 albums worth of vocal stuff. So if you're not familiar, please, I implore you to check out my music. I realize that I have a number of fans who only know me as a guitar player, but I would definitely appreciate if you go search out my records. I sing on all of them, and they're all 100% original tunes. So check out my last record, Burn to Grow. If you like Sultans of Swing, check out my song Through the Night on Burn to Grow. I promise you'll love it. I exclusively use Pro Tools, yes. Using 251s in lead playing, I can help. And I'm going to do, you know, a much more, you know, in-depth video about that. But the best thing you can do, I'm going to turn on the Chula. You know, think about going from the 1 to the 4. Right? Well, we want to play E minor to A minor. Not to A minor, to A. So E minor to A7 to lead us to D, right? So let's say you're playing B.B. King. You could play E minor right here. So you could play... Right, just like that. So A pentatonic to E minor, and then to D. To A and then to D. There's so many ways you can do it. You could be here. But basically it's... I don't know if that makes sense to you, but I'm targeting the next chord in the progression. So by going from A to D, I'm playing E minor, A7 to lead me to D. So be anywhere. Here we're playing Albert King. Right, so I played E minor. And that was a 2-5-1 to lead me to the 4 by playing E minor back to A to lead me to E. And then go back, play B minor. So I played B minor to E to lead me back to A. Hopefully that makes sense to you. But I'm going to do a video all about this stuff. Favorite Fender amp? Super Reverb. Yeah. Or Princeton Reverb. No, the 2/5s are not the chord changes. The 2/5s are bridges to get to a chord. So think about playing rhythm guitar, right? And going from the 1 to the 4. I'll play E minor, A to lead me to D, and then I'll play B minor to E to lead me back to A in a blues. So in soloing, it would sound like this. So they're not chords in the song. They're like a bridge. They're a turnaround. You could sneak them in super fast. That was right there. You know, and then go back. That was... And I'm doing that between all the chords, but not just blanket. I'm going to use diminished. I'm going to use chromatic runs, and I'm just going to play the blues. But those are some of the tools that are being used, yes. Can Goldface get a shout out? Shout out, Goldface. Oh, thank you, man. Yeah, I worked hard on the Eminence speaker. If I could only play with one band or artist for the rest of your life, who would it be? I would just want to play with my friends, man. With Travis and Lamar or Calvin and Lamar, my brothers, playing anything they want. Or my own music, but, you know. And if it was like as a sideman situation, I don't honestly have an answer for you on that one. I can't go back in time and play with Ray Charles or Sam Cooke or something like that. Yeah, smash that like button and subscribe or join. Even better, join. I feel like fuzzing it out a little bit. Let's get some fuzz going. Nice. Myriad Fuzz. Any plans for another quartet lineup? It just depends. The quartet, I mean, that's always driven by budget. I mean, quite honestly, you never know who's going to be playing with me because I don't know if I can afford to take people with me anywhere I go. I don't know who's around. I don't know, you know. Such is the world we live in with the amount of money that I generate per gig. It's a crapshoot who will be there or if I'll even bring people with me. Could be local musicians. To get the Guthrie Trap bonus content, the second or third tier. Intermediate or effing rulers. To get the bonus videos, you have to be second or third tier. Is Cheers still open? I don't know. I'll have to ask somebody back home in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I don't play much slide. I wish I did. You know, I wish I could say that I was a slide man, but when I first saw Derek Trucks, I was like, yep, I don't play slide. I am absolutely a Mickey Baker fan. Love it. Any exercises to work with rhythm and blues? The best thing you can do, well, watch my little shuffle video that I posted recently. But the Best thing you can do for working on your rhythm is pick a groove. So if it's a shuffle, lock it in, right? Lock it in so hard that it doesn't matter if you're playing any notes, it doesn't matter anything. You feel that groove, right? And ingrain it so hard in your system that you can now break away and play licks. Right? So it doesn't matter where you break away, that you're able to keep the pulse going and not lose that feeling. Take every groove that you enjoy and practice it like that. Lock it in until you feel it so much, and then embellish. Can you get an end screen shout out? I don't know what that means. Oh yeah, no, there's many videos coming like that, explaining kind of just what I do. And I'm also working on a book, so be on the lookout. Fans for playing, advice for playing over the five. Man, you either want to lay hard on the blues on the five, right, like Albert King, or you want to spell out the five, maybe modulate, also like Albert King. Another cool thing about Albert King is on the five, he'd go up a whole step to B, and you're playing a 2/5. Albert King had no idea he was playing a 2/5/1 right there, but he would play over the 5 dominant chord and then go back to the 1. He's playing a 2/5/1, man. He was a jazz man. In studio and YouTube. I don't know. I have to check that out. Maybe I'll figure it. I'll Google how to do that. Metronome or not, I'm a non-metronome player. I have to admit, I never practiced one ever. How has Ray Charles influenced me? Well, number one, his music is just incredibly important to me. I love it with all my heart. But Ray Charles had something in here that can't even be explained. And I think that's what influenced me the most, trying to reach for even just a piece of that. The way that he would phrase, it brings a tear into my eyes. Woo, I haven't sang this in. When I begin, his phrasing was insane. To realize I cry so much since you've been gone. I guess I'm drowning my own tears. He had this way of being sophisticated but never losing the ability to get to the root of things. And please don't listen to that singing. I'm going to get flagged for playing a cover now. And here I'm going to have to cut it out of the replay, but there you go. I don't have WhatsApp now. Do I like Julian Lage? Yeah, he's unbelievable. Do I have advice for people studying scales and intervals? Yeah, I mean, you really think of them all as chords. You want to tie everything to chords. So when you play the major scale, tie everything to a chord, right? Tie everything to a chord. Everything. I mean, all of it. All of it. And then, so that way when you're soloing and someone says, quickly go to the 6, you know it's anywhere. So if I'm soloing here, I've got the 6 right there. Or someone wants the 3. Or the 3 dominant. You know, when you work on the major scale chordally, and just in chord shapes, then you'll be comfortable all across the neck. And then you do it with chords that aren't just triads. You do it with extensions, with 7ths, with 9ths, with 13s, and then with altered chords. But that's the best way you could possibly learn the fretboard. 2 things. Learn that, like that, scales in chords, every scale in chord tones, and then learn pentatonic scale in every key, all 5 positions. Those 2 things alone will make you comfortable anywhere on the fretboard. Yeah, Joey's great. He sings a song on my next record. Any problems with Strat cutting through? No, but I play the Telly most of the time. When I play the Strat, I want a specific sound, which is, the tube screamer. It's like when I play a Strat, it's going to sound like this. Stuff like that. I want that sound when I switch to a Strat. How often do I play dead wrong? You know what? That's one I need to pull out. Never. So thank you for saying you even like it. How do I get out of a rut? I learn songs to get myself out of a rut. I'll pick an artist who I love, but maybe learn some of their songs that I've never bothered to actually sit down and learn. And inevitably, that inspires me and gets me out of whatever little malaise I'm in. Guys, I got to run. I lost track of time, and I got to do more content for you guys. I got to interview somebody here in a minute, and I can't even say who this one is. It's so great. I apologize for losing track of time and starting this stream too late. But I've been working all day on stuff, and I just wanted to pop on really just to say thank you for the interest in the channel and for signing up. It means a lot to me. I'm having a blast on Discord, and I've got a lot of great stuff coming for you guys. I'm really going max effort, I promise. The rest of this year is all YouTube, and I'm building up content, and so that when work gets back to normal, I'll still be able to have content coming out and be supporting the page and the membership. So it's a pleasure, and I can't thank you guys enough for the support. It really, truly does mean a lot to me. All right, dudes, I will see you later. Dudes and dudettes.